People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
If I said it, I meant it. Bite my tongue for no one, for no one, for no one.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's yours truly, Dan Adams, a.k.a. The Soulful Conservative, coming to you live with the premiere edition of 15 Minutes of Heat here on Facebook Live. And for those who are tuning in, thank you so much. Go ahead and hit the share button. Share this out. Let everybody know that I'm live. Coming back. I'm going to try and make sure that I do this on a normal, regimented basis, ladies and gentlemen. And the 15 minutes got a little, I shouldn't say little, but there is a meaning behind me doing this nightly for only 15 minutes. And I'm not going to get into that. I'll get into it later on. But let me go ahead and just end the beat here and we get right into the show. First and foremost, giving honor to God and to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to see another day, for allowing me to rise this morning and allowing me to continue out through this day, knowing that my family is safe here at home. And as you can see, I'm not in my normal digs. I won't be chilling in my bedroom, leaning back against my pillows, doing these shows in the future. But this is yours truly, once again, Dan Adams, a.k.a. The Soulful Conservative, and this is the premiere edition of the 15 Minutes of Heat. And unfortunately, starting off this show with horrible news, for those that have been under a rock today, there was another school shooting down in South Florida at the Stoneman Douglas High School. And I'm trying to figure out exactly the exact location as to where this tragedy happened. But let me go ahead and read a part of this article here. Let me go ahead and scroll up to the top here. And then we start with the title. 17 now confirmed. As I'm checking this now. 17 confirmed killed in South Florida high school shooting. Suspect identified as former student. Now, the shooter was later identified as Nicholas Cruz by a U.S. official, as reported by the AP. It was also confirmed that the suspect was a former student around the age of 19. Now, we don't know all the particulars as to why this individual did what he did, but it's another sad, sad day here in America. Another school shooting, needless, just innocent lives being snuffed out for no reason whatsoever. And the president and the first lady tweeted out today, sending their condolences and heartfelt prayers to those who are dealing with this tragedy. You had many who are amongst the political spectrum down there, the governor, Rick Scott, Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, and many others who have chimed in, sending their thoughts and prayers to all those individuals dealing with this tragedy. And once again, here we have a scenario where if an individual an individual who I can't even speak, can't even get the sentence out. An individual who could have had a gun concealed during this particular menacing incident may have stopped this person in his tracks, or at least stopped the amount of carnage. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we have a situation. Here we have a situation where individuals on the left are already politicizing this event. I'm not going there. All I'm going to say is two things. My heartfelt prayers and my condolences goes out to the families of those who have lost loved ones. And secondly, how about we get some individuals who are armed, trained, and ready to take on an incident if this incident like this occurs in the future. That is all I have to say on this. It is ridiculous. We're at this point again. We're going to have this whole gun control debate, and I'm not even going to chime in because you know where I stand on this, and it's just needless for me to even continue with this, but just once again, send my heartfelt prayers and thoughts and condolences to the families of those who lost loved ones today down in South Florida. Now, I want to go ahead and move on to another topic, and it has to deal with the ever ongoing special counsel Russia collusion investigation. And as I'm sitting back here, I'm as you can see, I'm chilling like a villain. I'm thinking to myself, how is it in today's, I guess, political arena that we are allowing, well, I know why it's happening, ladies and gentlemen, because the lamestream media is nothing but the mouthpiece for the Democrat Party and the liberals and the leftists and the numbnut moonbats walking around our country. But for an investigation that is coming up on 2 years, I believe it's well, put it this way, investigations, because I believe one started in the summer of 2016. And now we're at this special counsel investigation into this whole BS bogus Russian collusion in the Trump campaign. And I had a interesting conversation with my millennial liberal coworker at work yesterday, and he posed a very, very intriguing question. He had asked me, where do I stand in regards to what's going to be what is my breaking point in regards to this Russian collusion investigation, and do you think it's at the point where they need to end it? I'm thinking like this. I'm going to give this investigation a few more months, okay? And if nothing is brought about in regards to any kind of evidence in regards to Russian collusion, because you've seen, and as we've all seen, we've had individuals like Paul Manafort, General Mike Flynn, and others brought up on charges that had nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, to do with Russian collusion, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to do with the Trump campaign, which in and of itself, I'm thinking to myself, we need to look and reinvestigate why this special counsel has these arms that it has, these tentacles that it has, that it allows themselves, whoever's part of this investigation, to go after individuals, even if it's not part of the singular focus of the investigation. And in this case, Trump collusion, and with Russia. And now we all know, ladies and gentlemen, that Russia did everything in its power to influence, to set into motion anything that it could possibly do in regards to allowing that influence to proliferate in our election. It has been proven. There is no denying that. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, the intelligence communities have come out and have spoken and testified that no vote, not one singular vote, was compromised, changed, rerouted, or anything in that regard in the 2016 presidential election. So going forward, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm going to give this investigation a few more months. And I know a lot of individuals are there saying, well, they just can't come out with what they have. They got to make sure, they got to dot their I's and cross their T's and make sure everything is in effect before they bring forth any of the gatherings of possible evidence against President Trump and the Trump campaign. But I'm thinking to myself, we have had investigations starting in the summer of 2016, ladies and gentlemen. We're approaching 2 years of investigations. How much more do you need? How much more time do you need? That is the question up for debate. Now, for those individuals who have seen the stories come out this week in regards to these secret meetings with the FBI, James Comey, the goings on in the background with Susan Rice and her deal and who knows what this chick did for President Barack Hussein Obama. Because, as I stated on social media, I think it was yesterday or the day before, all these Obamaites, these Obama zombies, and the loyal, and I mean loyal to a T, who will fall on a sword for Obama, for anything that man may have done during his 8 years. And I'm thinking to myself, he will throw anyone under the bus to protect his ass. He will do it. He don't care what relationship he may have with you. You could be besties. He could be he could be like Eric Holder said, that's his homeboy, and he's gonna go to bat. Hey, Eric Holder. If it comes down to it, to save his ass, Obama will throw you under the bus too. So don't act like you're immune to the craziness. Don't act like you're immune to the fact that he will not throw you under the bus if it keeps him and his so-called legacy intact, which we all know that President Trump is dismantling whatever legacy that President Barack Hussein Obama may have. Now, speaking of President Trump, let's talk about this budget that was just passed. I have not delved into the innards of this budget bill, but all I know is I'm a little concerned with the spending, number one. I'm a little concerned, and as I read and found out today, that Obamacare is going to be bailed out via this budget bill. I'm a little concerned of how much Trump gave, ladies and gentlemen, gave to the Democrats in order for them to sign this bill. I haven't looked into it, delved into it in any intense nature, but I will. That's going to happen. And for anyone that may have any more bona fide, more, I guess, concrete, put it in bullet points, outline form in regards to the breakdown of this bill, hit me up here on Facebook. Send me a message. Now, only got a few more minutes before I have to end the premiere edition of the 15 Minutes of Heat. Yours truly, Dan Adams, a.k.a. the Soulful Conservative, owner, blogger at thepoliticalheat.com. That's right. I am still looking for participants to help me blog on that site. So if you know someone willing to do so, please give them my information. My email address is danadams73@gmail.com if they want to hit me up that way. If they don't want to hit me up on Facebook, hit me up at my email. And here we have a situation, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to end this show with this. I am going to play a clip, and then I'm going to show you a picture that will accompany this clip. And I'm going to put the picture up first, just to give you an idea of what this clip is about. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Dipstick.
We're not going to make any revisions to it. The only question is what redactions will be made. And obviously we'd like to keep those to a minimum. The White House has a different interest. I think their interest is in redacting anything that doesn't reflect well in the White House.
Mano, you, of course, just spoke to Congressman Schiff there. What does this mean for the fate of the memo getting made public?
Well, Schiff is still confident that they can reach a resolution with the Justice Department about the concerns that the FBI has raised with the White House and things that they do not want to see being made public. But, Jim, he made very clear that he'll only agree to redactions, and he wants to keep those redactions, quote, to a minimum, and he will not agree to any changes to the memo. The ultimate question is whether or not the FBI agrees with that, and whether or not the White House also agrees to it. And if neither of them do, Jim, then the decision will be left up to the House Intelligence Committee and the Republican-led House to override the White House. And no indications yet that the Republicans are willing to buck the president. So these discussions are going to continue behind the scenes.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty...
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in for the 15 Minutes of Heat. Had to end this particular edition with the utter liberal nonsense hypocrisy coming from the left. So as we do this, and we're going to do this every night, this is yours truly, Dan Adams, a.k.a. the Soulful Conservative, host of the 15 Minutes of Heat here on Facebook Live. Until next time, God bless you and yours. Peace.